Faya, I am sorry. I am sorry too, Ruby. I should have asked you. I should have just asked you. Me too.
Have you ever seen two rivers flowing side by side, never touching, never mixing, even in the same bucket? Well, sit down, because today you will find out why. Once upon a time, in a green and peaceful village called Amara, two baby girls were born on the same night under the same full moon. Their mothers were neighbors, their fathers were friends, and so it was decided before these girls could even walk, Ruby and Fire belonged to each other. And oh, what a pair they were. Ruby was bright and laughing with a voice like a song. Fire was bold and sharp with eyes that missed nothing. Together, they were trouble. Together, they were joy. The whole village knew if you saw one, the other was just around the corner. They walked to nursery school together, holding the same lunch basket. They sat at the same wooden desk in primary school, sharing one pencil between two stubborn hands. In secondary school, boys would come to greet Ruby and Fire would clear her throat so loudly the boys would run. Boys would come for Fire and Ruby would suddenly start coughing like she was dying. They protected each other like that, lovingly, annoyingly, completely. Their teacher, old Mr. Balogun, used to say, those two girls are one person split into two bodies, and he was not wrong. But trouble, they say, does not knock before it enters. His name was Prince Dio. He rode into Amara on a fine horse, wearing gold rings on every finger, smiling a smile that had no truth behind it. He was the son of a neighboring chief sent to visit, but what nobody knew was that Prince Dio had a hobby. His hobby was confusion. His talent was lies. His greatest joy was watching people who loved each other turn against each other. When he saw Ruby and Fire laughing at the village well, he stopped his horse and smiled to himself. Entrusting, he whispered. He greeted Ruby first. He told her she was the most beautiful girl in all the land. He leaned close and said, "Between you and me, I am looking for a wife, a real woman, not a girl like your friend Fire, who has been throwing herself at me since I arrived. Very embarrassing, but you are different." Ruby blinked. Her heart did a little jump. She looked at Fire across the compound and thought, really? That same evening, he found Fire alone near the mango tree. He told her she was extraordinary, rare, the kind of woman a prince dreams about. He whispered, "But I must warn you, Ruby has been following me everywhere, sending me messages, trying so hard. Poor girl. But you, Fire, you are the one who caught my eye the moment I arrived." Fire stood up straighter. She looked toward Ruby's house. And just like that, the seed of competition was planted. Now listen, this is the part where it gets interesting. Because Ruby and Fire never stopped being friends on the outside. They still walked together, still laughed together, but something had quietly entered between them. Something small and green and poisonous. Ruby started spending more time on her hair. Fire started buying new fabric. Ruby wore her mother's gold earrings. Fire wore her grandmother's beaded necklace. Ruby made soup and sent it to the palace. Fire heard about the soup and sent rice and stew and 2 types of meat. The village women watched and whispered, "Something is happening between those two girls." Old Mama Kande, who sold pepper near the gate, told her friend, "I don't know what it is, but the way Ruby looked at Fire yesterday, hey, that was not a friendly look." Her friend replied, "And Fire, she smiled at Ruby with her mouth, but her eyes were busy calculating." Prince Dio sat back and enjoyed the show. He would walk past both of them, smile at one, wink at the other, then disappear. He told Ruby that Fire had begged him to choose her, He told Fire that Ruby had cried in the night over him. All lies, beautiful, terrible lies. And both girls believed him because they wanted to. Because when you want something, your ears stop working properly. The competition grew.
Fire Aduki.
Mama,
Why is Ruby's mother greeting me alone? Where is Ruby?
she's fine.
You two are fighting over a boy.
We are not fighting.
One person split in two. Now even the two halves are fighting.
The silence between the two best friends grew louder than any argument. Their laughs became shorter. Their visits became polite instead of warm. The lunch basket they used to share now stayed in separate houses. And still, neither of them asked Prince Dayo directly, "Do you love me? Will you marry me? What exactly is happening here?" Because pride, you see, can make even the smartest person a fool.
Time to end this.
Yam, oil, and my wrapper. All set. A beautiful morning for the market.
Then came the morning that changed everything. The palace announced that items were missing from the royal home. A golden ring, a golden necklace, beautiful, expensive things. And when the palace guards searched, what did they find? A golden ring at the bottom of Fire's bag. A golden necklace tucked inside Ruby's pouch. The girls screamed. They cried. They denied everything. But the evidence was there, sitting heavy and golden and accusing. The whole village gathered. The chief priest stood up in his white cloth, his old eyes burning with anger. Both girls looked toward the palace, toward Prince Dayo, waiting for him to speak, waiting for him to tell the truth, to save them, to say, "Wait, I know these girls, they would never steal." Prince Dayo stood at the edge of the crowd. He looked at them. He looked away. He said nothing. The chief priest raised his staff. His voice was low and terrible. "Let the truth live in your bodies. Let what is inside you come outside. Let the water speak." What happened next, no one had words for.
Fire.
Ruby and Fire began to sweat.
Ruby.
But it was not sweat. It was water. Their feet became soft. Their legs became liquid. The crowd stepped back in fear. The two girls held eye contact with each other as they began to melt. Slowly, slowly, not in pain, but in something deeper than pain, a great sadness, a terrible understanding. They did not fight it. They had no strength left to fight anything. Like rivers finally finding their direction, they moved. Through the palace gates, down the village road, past the market where Mama Kande dropped her pepper basket and screamed, through the forest path, flowing, moving, searching, until they entered the deep forest and became what the curse had decided. Two rivers. Ruby River ran light yellow like morning sunlight on still water. Fire River ran a deep, dark amber like evening earth after rain. They flowed side by side, close enough to speak, too far apart to mix.
There is water on this floor. Did someone spill water? There is water on this floor.
My prince, the floor is dry.
Back in the palace, Prince Dayo was laughing with his men when it started. Water, cold, pressing, rising around his feet. He looked down. Nothing was there, but he felt it. He tried to walk and stumbled as if something was pulling his legs. He screamed for help. His men ran in and found him, soaking wet from head to toe, gasping, spinning, grabbing at the air in a completely dry room. He was drowning in a room with no water. His men pulled him up. He fell again. They poured sand on the floor. It made no difference. He was turning and gasping, coughing water, his fine clothes drenched, his gold rings slipping off his fingers as his hands puffed and swelled. "Somebody help me! There is a river in here," he screamed. His men looked at each other. There was no river. There was not even a cup of water. The palace chief priest was called. The old man looked at the prince struggling on the dry floor and shook his head slowly. "The innocent water has come to collect," he said quietly. "It found its way here." The prince confessed everything: the lies, the rings, the necklace, the plan, weeping and coughing and slipping on the dry floor as if a current was dragging him under. The village heard it all. Apologies were made. Prayers were spoken. The chief priests and the elders walked into the forest and knelt before the two rivers. They apologized in the language of old words that the earth understands.
We should have seen the truth sooner. We did not protect you.
We are sorry, Ruby. We are sorry, Fire.
They promised justice. They promised the village would remember. The rivers calmed, but they did not merge. Even today, River Ruby and River Fire flow beside each other through that forest. Close, always close, but never mixing.
My daughter, my Ruby, I see you. Faya Aduke, I am here.
The villagers named them, honored them, brought
For flavor,
flowers to
wherever
them.
you are.
And people who came from other towns heard the story and brought cups and buckets to test it, scooping water from both rivers and pouring them together. It did not matter. The yellows sat on one side, the dark ambers sat on the other. In the same bucket, they would not become one. Scientists could not explain it. Elders did not need to explain it. They simply said, some wounds between souls run deeper than water. At night, when the village is quiet and even the crickets have gone to sleep, the people who live near the forest say they hear two voices, gentle, speaking, sometimes laughing, sometimes going quiet the way old friends do when words are not necessary. Two best friends, still together, still apart. Still talking, but never mixing again. The moral of this story: a true friendship is one of the rarest gifts life gives. Guard it with your whole heart. Never let a sweet-talking stranger pour poison between you and the person who has always carried your name with love. The tongue that smiles at both sides of a door is the most dangerous tongue in the room, and betrayal always finds its way home. Thank you so very much for watching. If this story touched your heart, if it made you laugh, if it made you think of someone you love, please like this video, leave a comment below, and share it with your loved ones. Stories only live when they are passed on. See you in the next tale. The end.